When you're younger, typically you picture yourself graduating high school, finishing college, meeting the love of your life, getting married, buying a house together, and then last but not least, having children and starting a family. But what if I told you that in today's society, 3 in 10 teens will get pregnant at least one time before the age of 20, which is nearly 750,000 teen pregnancies each year? Or the fact that there are about 20 million new cases of STDs each year in the United States, and about half of these cases are people in between the ages of 15 and 24. My name is Sierra, and I'm going to tell you why sex education should be taught in schools. I had a best friend from the age of 3 up to 16. Her name was Tessa, and we were basically inseparable. Every year, we had the same teacher, we played and talked with each other. We were always together. Her family wasn't really there for her, and when she wasn't at my house, she was basically fending for herself. She lived above a bar that her mom owned, and fairly often she would bring home someone new each night. She also had 4 brothers, none of them had the same father. At the age of 15, Tessa became pregnant. The father of her child moved away without notice, so there she was, no job, no support, and before you knew it, she dropped out of high school. A couple years later, she started to sell drugs, stealing, robbing, basically anything to support her daughter besides get a job. Soon, her daughter got taken away from her by Child Protective Services. Eventually, she got her back, but she has never really had a stable life, something she swore she would always give to her daughter or herself. You all have a son, daughter, nephew, niece, or know somebody who does. How would you feel that at the age of 13 up to 19, they confessed to you that they had gotten pregnant or contracted an STD? Sex education should be taught in schools because it could help prevent teen pregnancies. According to Do Something organization, a sexually active teen that does not use contraceptive has a 90% chance of becoming pregnant within a year. Manny was a young girl who became pregnant at the age of 16. When she found out she was pregnant, she told her mother and her then boyfriend. Her mother right away scheduled an appointment for her to have an abortion, and the boyfriend stopped having contact with her and moved away. Mandy stated that, "I believe we need to educate teenagers about self-worth and waiting until marriage to have sex, instead of using abortion as a contraceptive method." Teen Help, they inform that the United States spends $7 billion each year due to the cost of teen pregnancy, and 80% of unmarried teen moms end up on welfare. Now that you have learned some things on teen pregnancy, let's take a look at sexually transmitted diseases. Sex education should be taught in schools because it could help prevent sexually transmitted diseases. From the Center of Disease Control, young women's bodies are more susceptible to STDs. Advocates for Youth state that an estimated of 4 in 10 sexually active adolescents that are females, ages 14 to 19, have an STD, and males accounted for 71% of all HIV diagnoses between ages of 13 and 2008. Also, from 1989 to 2008, they reported that chlamydia rates rose from 102.5 to 401.3 cases per 100,000 population. You have now gotten an idea of why sex education should be taught in schools. Sex education should be taught in schools because it could help prevent teen pregnancies and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. For example, if teens were taught about using contraceptives, the United States wouldn't be paying so much money each year towards teen pregnancies. Also, if young women were taught that their bodies are more susceptible to STDs, they wouldn't be having unprotected sex. You all have a son, daughter, nephew, niece, or know somebody who does. How would you feel that at the age of 13 up to 19, they had confessed to you that they had gotten pregnant or contracted an STD? Sex education should be taught in schools.